People in New York talk about billionaires like they're untouchable, giants who live in skyscrapers, their names on buildings, their money able to buy anything. But one afternoon, in a glittering Manhattan office tower, a 14-year-old boy carrying a battered backpack walked in beside his mother, a cleaning lady, and changed a billionaire's life forever. David Carter was just a skinny kid from the Bronx with hand-me-down sneakers and a spark in his eyes that no one could take away. His mother, Angela Carter, had spent the last 5 years scrubbing marble floors and emptying trash cans in the offices of Nathan Sterling, a ruthless oil and tech tycoon worth billions. She had begged David not to tag along that day, but with no one else to watch him, she finally relented. She thought it would be just another cleaning shift. She had no idea her son was about to turn the entire building upside down. When Sterling spotted them, he smirked the way only men who think they own the world can. "What's this?" he said, leaning back in his leather chair. "Bring your kid to work day for the janitorial staff." His laughter echoed off the glass walls. Angela lowered her head, clutching her mop handle, whispering, "David, just stay quiet." But David didn't stay quiet. He lifted his chin and said with surprising calm, "I speak 9 languages." The room went dead silent before Sterling erupted into laughter. 9 languages? Kid, you barely speak English. Don't embarrass your mother. Angela's cheeks burned with shame, but David didn't flinch. English, Spanish, French, German, Arabic, Mandarin, Russian, Italian, and Portuguese. He pronounced each with crisp precision, his voice unwavering. Sterling's laughter faltered. The Arabic sounded real. The Mandarin rolled naturally. For a moment, he almost forgot to sneer. "Cute trick," Sterling said, waving him off. "Anybody can memorize a phrase or 2. David calmly opened his backpack. Inside were certificates, authentic ones from library programs, online translation courses, and even a Columbia University language proficiency exam. Sterling snatched them, his smugness cracking as he read. The stamps were official, the signatures real. "Where did you learn this?" Sterling asked, his voice lower now. "At the public library," David said. "They have free programs every day after school." Angela's eyes welled. She hadn't known the full extent of what her son had been doing while she worked double shifts. Sterling tried to dismiss it. Anyone can cheat their way through an online class. But David was ready. He pulled out a tablet, opened a video call, and introduced Sterling to Professor Zhang, who greeted David in rapid Mandarin. They chatted fluently, effortlessly, leaving Sterling staring like a man who had just seen a ghost. When the professor confirmed David was her best student, Sterling ended the call abruptly. "You're wasting my time," he snapped, trying to regain control. But David wasn't finished. "Actually, I'm saving it. Yesterday, I overheard you on a call with your Middle Eastern investors. You misused key Arabic terms, confusing deadlines with negotiations. You nearly lost a $50 million contract." Sterling's face drained of color. The investors had sounded confused, but he had blamed it on poor connections. "How did you?" "Because I've been studying business Arabic for 2 years, David interrupted. "It's my specialty." Angela's heart pounded. Her son wasn't just proving himself, he was dismantling the arrogance of a billionaire, brick by brick. Sterling leaned forward, his voice quieter now. "Why did you come here today, David?" David locked eyes with him. "Because I wanted to show you something. That value isn't about money or privilege, it's about what you bring to the table." For the first time in years, Nathan Sterling was speechless. But then David reached into his backpack again and pulled out a small recorder. He pressed play. Sterling's own voice filled the office. "These Black Americans are all the same. Lazy, uneducated. That's why only hire whites or foreigners for real positions." Angela gasped, covering her mouth. Sterling froze, the blood draining from his face. He remembered saying those words in the elevator, never realizing the cleaning lady's son had been there. "That's illegal. You can't record me," Sterling barked. "New York is a one-party consent state," David replied calmly. "Perfectly legal. And if I hand this to the Labor Department or CNN, your empire crumbles overnight." Sterling's hands shook. "What do you want?" David's voice was calm, but steely. 3 things. Promote my mother to facility supervisor with a real salary, $80,000 a year. Fund scholarships for kids from neighborhoods like mine. And hire me as a junior language consultant. I've already prepared the contract. From his backpack, he placed a typed contract on Sterling's desk. Every clause airtight, every detail covered. Sterling realized this boy hadn't stumbled in here by chance. He had been preparing for months. "You're 14, Sterling said weakly. And I speak 9 languages better than anyone you know, David countered. I've already proven I can save you millions. Angela, trembling, whispered, David. But her son placed a steady hand on hers. Mom, it's okay. This isn't begging. It's justice. Sterling stared at him. For the first time in his career, he felt outplayed, outmaneuvered, outsmarted by a boy. Finally, with a heavy sigh, he signed the contract. David smiled, sliding the recorder into his bag. Good choice. And for the record, he pulled out 2 more hidden recorders. Everything you signed today is backed up. Sterling let out a shaky laugh, the first genuine laugh he'd had in years. You're terrifying, kid. No, David replied with quiet confidence. I'm just prepared. 6 months later, the story of the boy who outsmarted a billionaire was whispered in boardrooms across New York. Sterling kept his promises. Angela now wore tailored suits as a respected supervisor, and the David Carter Scholarship Program had sent dozens of kids to college. David himself had become the youngest corporate language consultant in American history, correcting contracts that brought in hundreds of millions. And Sterling? The once arrogant tycoon now spent afternoons in the Bronx Public Library, sitting beside kids whose names he would have never cared to learn before. When asked why, he would always say the same thing. Because a 14-year-old taught me the most expensive lesson of my life, that true intelligence isn't about where you're born, but about what you create with what you're given. David's journey wasn't just about 9 languages or contracts. It was about proving that courage, preparation, and self-worth could dismantle arrogance and change lives. And, as he often told the younger kids he mentored, never let anyone tell you your worth. Bring the evidence, speak your truth, and watch the world listen.